Hey, hey, party people. It's a beautiful day for music. It's a wonderful day for sound. Marcus here. Let's talk about DCI Texas, right? The Southeastern Western Championships, whatever they're called now. What we do know is that this is the biggest show that happens before finals because most people show up kind of in the same place. And for a lot of people, this is their first time being compared against some other folks. So this is the first time we get to see a pretty complete picture of who's in what place based off of the same show. Right? So starting right around, let's call it the bubble, the people who are kind of right in the area of making finals here. We have in 16th place, the Crossmen. They have a 7.8.1. A little bit higher, just a very small amount underneath a points difference. We have Pacific Crest, that's in 15th. Underneath a points difference for them, we have Spirit of Atlanta, that's in 14th. And then, once again, very close, we have the Madison Scouts that are in 13th place. Now, the next place up with the Colts, keep in mind, they're separated by almost like a whole 2 points. So this block of people here is what's really going to be interesting to sort of take a look at. 13, 14, 15, 16. The Academy, I mean, it's a little bit far away right now for them to be for real contenders into possibly making finals. So that would be something to take a look at. So Pacific Crest, Crossman, Crest, Spirit, and Madison Scouts. In that next block, we have starting at an 82, we have the Colts, 82.9, we have the Blue Knights. Once again, under a points difference between those. And I would say the next jump up as far as the Troopers, I don't think that's going to sort of make that jump in between them. It could, but we just never know. So for them, there'll probably be some swapping back and forth before we actually get to finals. And hey, you never know. Maybe if they change some things about their shows, either one of them, it could be a big difference within their outcome. The Troopers, we have at an 84.6, the Cavaliers an 84.8. Once again, underneath a points difference between these guys. The Blue Stars, we have it at an 85.2. And I would consider all of them to sort of be at a block together also. So 8th, 9th, and 10th, just because of how close they are. The next jump up to that 87 with the Mandarins, I'm not sure if they're going to be making that much of a change between now and finals. So those three are in a block together, Blue Stars, Cavaliers, and the Troopers. In this next block here, we have at an 88, the Carolina Crown, and then at an 89, and at 88.7, it's important to say that, so they're very close. And then at an 89.2, we have the Phantom Regiment. Now, this is where things get very interesting because that both of these, I think both of them are going to break 90 before the end of the season. There's going to be a lot of people in the 90s this year. It's going to be super interesting. So as far as how that's going to go up and down and around, it's very exciting for me as a drum corps fan to see where that's going to go. But I would consider those two to kind of be in a block with each other right now. And then, of course, breaching our 90s club, we have the Blue Devils in 4th, Santa Clara in 3rd, Blue Coats in 2nd, and then Boston in 1st. There's a solid separation between a 93.2 that Boston has and a 92.8. There's some space there at the top. You never know what's going to happen between now and finals, but there's a lot of space there. And for me personally, this doesn't always happen. I think Blue Coats, I think Boston's going to win, right? And not only do I think they're going to win, I want them to win. Normally, those two things don't line up. I can accept that a certain group is going to win, but my favorite show happens to be something different, right? Because sometimes the stars don't align. My favorite show could be a show that's performed by people who might have a little bit of a younger performer base, so they can't get to that level of clarity and maturity of sound that some of the other people can. It doesn't mean that it's not my favorite show, though, right? So it just happens to be this year that Boston has my favorite show and their performers are absolutely slamming. So it's really, really cool to see that. I also think that they could pull off winning drums this year. I think they have a very balanced approach, a little bit more so than maybe some other years, to the chances that they're taking within their battery percussion, and then also allowing moments for their front ensemble to have sort of virtuosic textures and physical demands that are apparent to the judge. The judge is not walking back from a battery moment and misses the front ensemble moment every time, right? So that's something to kind of take a look at there. Now, with Boston, I'm going to show you one of my favorite parts of the show this year, and I'll kind of talk through it as far as why it's my favorite. Everybody's the power of it all. A nice organic sort of dispensation here. And that whole tone sort of whimsical texture. Very bouncy. It is so playful. And then this is what takes it up another notch. He catches it, he throws with a transfer underneath the leg, and we're back. Yeah, those stabs are just in there. So, man, there's so many parts about Boston's show that I really like. I was really hoping that they're going to make a much bigger deal out of the Mahler boxes and that big hammer. I was really hoping they're going to push them on the field at a certain point and just have them like with a whole visual moment around it. It almost goes by, if you're not paying attention to it, without you noticing it, right? If you're not sort of just looking for it to happen. So you never know. Maybe that's something that they can sort of change going forward. When it comes to the recaps, just so you know, the biggest difference that can really happen with people's shows is going to be that general effect category. It's weighted heavier. There's a bigger percentage for that particular score than the individual caption scores, like the brass and the visual and the color guard and percussion scores. So the biggest differences that people can make within their production those are the hardest differences to make, because it requires you to change the moments in your show and how certain things lead into those moments and how it organically goes out of that moment into the next thing. And if people do have rewrites at this point in the season, it is a major investment, because your kids have been performing that show for so long, and it's very difficult to put on a whole new thing and then clean it to the point that you can still go out and have a good show like the next night, basically, right? So I'm very excited to see where some of those little brackets and pockets of people sort of end up when it comes to them moving up or down before we actually get to finals and things. If you have comments about any of this, definitely hit me up in the comments. What shows do you like? Who do you think needs to be at the top? So many good people this year, so many good sounds happening, so much physical and environmental demand that's been placed on the performers. It's all exciting for me as a drum corps nerd and whatnot. I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuce.